had the power and money right now, I'd duplicate this school in every city, every community in the United States of America. I'm telling you. I want all of you guys to know that I'm no different than you guys. I'm just a homeboy from the neighborhood who decided one day that he was going to change his life. Sometimes we got to go back where it began in order to change the future. I came from a house, a home, well, let me say the projects, the apartments, just like a lot of y'all come from. I didn't have a mother and a father in my home when I grew up. I never woke up in my whole life and said, good morning, mommy, and good morning, daddy. Never. We never had a cookie jar in our kitchen. We never had a fruit bowl sitting in the middle of the table, or a refrigerator that I can open up in the morning and have choices of what I wanted for breakfast and dinner. I come from a generation of poverty. And let me break down what generational poverty means. See, my great-grandmother, grandfather didn't read. My grandmother and grandfather didn't read or write. And my mother and father didn't, because education wasn't valued in our home. No one ever stimulated my mind when I came home, or we sat at the dinner table at 5 o'clock in the evening like most families do, and someone asked me what I want to do when I grow up. What do I want to be? What's my dream? See, the only dream I had when I was a youngster was to one day get that house on the hill with a white picket fence, with a swimming pool in the backyard, on a quiet street with big, big trees. No gangsters, no drug dealers, no drama. But see, when I was a little youngster growing up, I had blinders on my whole life. I only saw one direction. It wasn't until I started to value education that the blinders came off and I began to view the world different and life around me different. Because I had no reinforcement at home. The only reinforcement I had at home and in my community was the older homeboys in the neighborhood, just like you guys. When you leave school, you go back to the neighborhood and all the homies is hanging out. Well, they manufacturing dreams too, but bad dreams, bad vision, bad focus. And all those bad dreams at the end of the day wind you up in prison like Chef Jeff. It'll wind young girls pregnant at a young age. Because a lot of young girls out there feel that they have to be with someone or give themselves to someone to validate them as a person. Just like the youngsters out there selling drugs on the street because they want all the gadgets and the trinkets that they feel that they need to validate you and make you feel like you somebody in the neighborhood. You should never feel that you need an earring, a necklace, some high-priced tennis shoes, or the latest fashion to validate who you are. But the reason why sometimes we think like that is because we never had that powerful reinforcement. We've had low self-esteem our whole life. Because see, when I was a youngster, no one ever told me that I was somebody. No one ever told me that I was smart until I went to prison. No one ever told me that I had potential. See, you can't have a dream until you find your purpose in life. So if you don't have a purpose, you're lost. And when I went to get my first jobs in life, I didn't smile. I had that swagger in my walk. You know how you get your little bell on? Y'all know this walk, huh? I still walk like this, but I gotta catch myself and straighten it up. Because see, my whole life, I always walk cool. It took me years to walk straight with posture. It took me years to walk like that. It took me years to smile. Because we come from an environment where you don't have nothing to smile about. So one of the things I did when I went into the workforce, after I got out of prison, I went and got my teeth fixed. The $2,800 grill I have right here, see that? Because I understood the importance of a smile. I understood the importance of a walk, how you dress, how you talk. And I used to speak with Iban. I used to speak like I had marbles in my mouth, mumbling. I'd be like, yes, can you repeat that, please? Someone told me I was looking for a job, one of my boys told me, Right? You gotta find your purpose in life. And how you find your purpose, you have to stimulate the mind. How do you stimulate the mind? Through education, through reading, from putting yourself around people that motivate you and inspire you. See, I quit hanging around the homeboys. And I still got love for them, but I love them from a distance. See, my new homeboys today, we play golf. We talk about current events. Our discussion and conversation stimulates the mind to make you be more motivated about fulfilling your dream. It was no time to be cool, no time to be slick. And that's what I had to do to get where I'm at today. It is not selling out who you are, because I'm proud to be a black man. I'm proud to be African American. I'm proud to be part of this great country called America. It's an American dream to get all the things that you want in life. And it's okay to get the gadgets and all the trinkets, but you got to get your knowledge first. You got to educate yourself. You got to build your self-esteem up. You got to build your confidence up. It's no time to be cute. It's no time to be popular. Because at the end of the day, when you leave this school and go out into the world, you go on by yourself. You go on by yourself. So when they teach y'all table etiquette, when they teach you self-presentation, pulling your pants up, get that swagger out of your walk, quit trying to be cool, learn to smile, send off that warm spirit about yourself. One day you're going to realize how important that is of getting that particular job and being successful. But you know the most important thing that I feel good about in my life is that I'm breaking the cycle in my family. Education is powerful. I'm obsessed with knowledge. I read my first book when I was 28 years old, called Black Men, Obsolete, Single, and Dangerous. And that book opened my eyes. It allowed me to see who I was as a person. It made me stand up straight. It made me inferior to people who are successful, people who I've never associated with. You know, because I was down with the brother thing back in the days. I got white friends, Jewish friends, Muslim friends, Hispanic friends, Asian friends. I don't have homies no more, because they don't make them like they used to. I build powerful relationships with powerful people who create opportunities, who open doors for me so I can have my house on the hill with a white picket fence. Relationships are very, very important. Without relationships, I don't care how good you are in life, without having that polished brand, without having that marketable brand, without having that brand being contagious. See, when I used to go to work, I used to be the first in, last out, 2-3 hours early. And I was working in the union house, and the shop stewards and them used to get on me, because Henry said, man, why you coming to work so early, not paying you? So I don't care about the money. I wanted the knowledge. I wanted the information that was going to make me the best at what I want to be. That's what I had to do.
My uncle is in prison. Do you have any advice for him not to go back?
The advice I have for your uncle in prison is to do the time and not let the time do him. He needs to read books. He needs to look in the mirror. He needs to find his soul. He needs to find his purpose in life. And he needs to know that he has a beautiful niece out here who has a dream, and that he needs to get out and be a role model to you and change his life. How many people in here have a relative that knows somebody in prison or been to jail? All right. See, this is a whole nother assembly right here that we can do on this. How do I deal with the criticism when it comes from my past? Well, at the end of the day, I'm always going to be a convicted felon. And that's the price I had to pay, and I'll never forget that. What I was able to do is diffuse the prison stigma, make the felony jacket go away. And that came from building a brand. You know, speaking well, dressing right, building the right relationships, getting in the right circles, and which allowed me to get through doors that normally most people who have been to prison can't do. You know, not just people who've been to prison. I mean, there's people who can't get a job who have college degrees. It's all based on yourself. It's based on your brand. It's based on, you know, what do you want to do in life? How do you go about getting there? How do you go about taking care of that opportunity? If you look like, walk like, and dress like people who are portrayed negatively in the media, if you look, act, and walk like people who feel intimidating or feel threatening to the power structure or whatnot, it's like you almost have to put the game face on. You know, I'm still cool. You know, I like to wear my jeans and you know, and stuff, but I know that when it's time to have a game face on, you have to have a game face on, 9 to 5 image. I hope that what I said today have touched you, have inspired you, because I'm just a messenger. I'm just coming with a powerful message of hope, inspiration, and change, the American dream. And I knew nothing about the American dream 20 years ago, and it's real, and it's achievable. If I had the power and the money right now, I'd duplicate this school in every city, every community in the United States of America. I'm telling you.